guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Rising Rule. I am your host today, Rebecca. I'm super excited to talk about this topic. I'm going to be talking about friends, frenemies, all things in between, the friends that we think that we should have, the friends that we think we have and that aren't actually friends, and how to find more friends as an entrepreneur. So here we go. We are diving straight into this. This topic is a really heavy topic. I don't think that we talk enough about it, and I think that it's a thing that needs to be exposed. So we're just gonna rip the Band-Aid right off. Okay, so there are some qualities of friends that we should look for, and there are qualities of people that we want to surround ourselves that will feed our entrepreneurial journey. In those pieces, there are significant aspects that either will push us to the next level or take us backwards. So I'm going to focus on the positive stuff because I think it's just a whole lot easier, and energetically it just makes things better for me. So we're just going to roll with it. The first thing that I would say is your friend sees vulnerability as a strength. Whenever I share vulnerable aspects of my life to my friends, I am in awe of how often it's received as a strength, and in awe of how they push me to be vulnerable, and they identify it and they say, thank you so much for sharing with me, or thanks so much for, opening yourself up like that. It's something that I really appreciate. When they say those things, it really makes me feel special and important in their lives as a human being. That's an awesome aspect. Another sees problems as opportunities. Opportunities is something that Tony Robbins actually guided me to see, because whenever you do have a problem, honestly, it is an opportunity. And in your entrepreneurial journey, I will say, you will see more and more of that, to be honest with you. So they have balance in their heart and their mind. I think that one just speaks for itself. I think having compassion as a friend, but also having logic, is something that really serves people, and being able to be there and come forward for your friend in a time of need with compassion, but also, still saying logical and not being like, oh, I'm gonna take them out, or like, what are we gonna do? You don't need that. Hey, I'm really sorry you're going through this, and I'm here for you. What's the best way that I can support you? It's really a beautiful space to stay within. This next one's kind of a big deal, and this goes to ghosting as friends. I find that if you communicate clearly, you never have the opportunity to ghost somebody, even if it's breaking up with somebody as a friend, and that's okay too. But when you communicate clearly and you're like, hey, listen, I've tried to make this work multiple times and it's just not working, boyfriend, friend, whatever, family member, I'm just gonna dig into myself and spend some time in my own business. That's a beautiful power to have. It also eliminates having a lot of hurt, and pain. Seeks to understand themselves and seeks to understand others. So a lot of times in this day and age, I find that on Facebook, we go to war with people who have different thoughts or opinions than we do. It's a little bit strange for me. Actually, I find that more of the older generation does this, but sorry guys, I just don't think that it is helpful for anybody. I like having to understand other people and their views, and it opens up a whole other experience of life, and it's a beautiful one. They balance their alpha and their femme. And this is so true for my girlfriends. If my girlfriend is like super in her masculine energy and really controlling each of the outcomes of whatever she's trying to say to me, and I'm getting overwhelmed and she's not coming down into her femme, I can't really receive much of what she's saying at that time. And that balancing act is really important. So if they stay very much in their masculine, and you guys don't know what I'm talking about, head over to my alpha versus femme video. I'll link it in the box below. The next one takes ownership. Ownership is so important. Hey, I screwed up. I was really a jerk that day. I don't even know what happened to me. I hope you can forgive me. And, here's a cup of coffee. But having that ability to take ownership of a screw up or a mishap or whatever it is, it's part of being vulnerable, and it's part of being a true friend and seeing compassionate aspects of who we are as human beings. And it is really something that can massively help in a friendship. Anyway, if you guys have any qualities that I might have missed, please drop them in the comments, because I find that oftentimes people come up with these things of qualities. I'm just like, wow, I never thought of that. And I love that. And maybe that's a quality in of itself, curiosity, and having that curiosity about yourself to be able to say, hey, I probably didn't think of it, because to be honest with you, I can't think of everything. I'm not Einstein. Well, even Einstein didn't think of everything. Tesla? Okay, I'm rambling now. When you're making friends or breaking up with friends, there are so many evolutions and there's so many aspects of the journey that we explore, right? But when we realize that we are the sum of the 5 people that we spend the most time with, and we look at those 5 people and we're like, man, this is not what I want to become, because I see this and I see that, and they're super critical about people, or they're super negative about things, or they just never see the opportunity around them. Nothing seems to be good enough. These are qualities of people that are limited in their thinking, and that's okay, and they're allowed to be there, but sometimes you have to expand yourself to be able to continue to grow in your own space as an entrepreneur. And as you're growing, you're going to realize that these pieces become highlighted more and more over time. And it's a critical aspect to first recognize them. So when I was a ballet dancer, I could feel my corrections, and as soon as I felt it, I knew I could correct it. And I take that same principle and I move it to my life, in the sense that if I can recognize it, I can correct it in myself. I can't fix other people, but I can say, oh, hey, that's something I don't want, and so I'm going to be super aware of it. That's a really great quality to have for yourselves as you are exploring friendships, just to kind of be aware of, and maybe try to redirect the person. If they're super negative or they're not seeing a lot of opportunity, maybe try to highlight it for them. Be the light in that circumstance. When you are the light, and when you're challenging yourself to be the light, it is really a process that I find to be very, no pun intended, but enlightening. There are so many aspects that can be very helpful in that process, and hopefully that helps you too. So once you recognize the types of friends that you have in your life, and once you see some of the patterning and how that is enriching your life and how it's growing your life, you want to then step into a space of, how do I grow friends that are evolving with me into a larger space? This was one of my biggest issues. Personally, I lived in a really small town. I didn't have the means to travel all the time to these seminars, which I massively encourage. And if you guys haven't watched my Entrepreneur and Money video, please go check it out. I'm gonna link it right here. I do briefly talk about that and how much it does enrich your lifestyle. The friends that I have made in seminars, I've only gone to like 1 to 2 a year, are so deeply connected with me in a different way that they were the ones to encourage me the most to grow and expand. If you don't have the means to do that, there are networking events, there are charity events, which are the ones that I personally find to have the most value add people, because they're really focused on contribution. There are meetup groups, and Meetup is not a dating site. It is literally a meetup group to socialize with other women or other entrepreneurs. And if there isn't one, make one. Or also Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of the social aspects. Massive amounts of friends of mine have come from Instagram. Why? They hit me up via DM and I was like, yo, love your pitch, would like to know a little bit more about you. I love hearing from people, genuinely love it. I love hearing about their story. Sometimes I have to voice text them back because I'm busy, but having those connections have massively allowed me to grow into my space. And they have also allowed me to grow massively in Instagram too, because when you support others, they support you, and that's just the way that it works. So hopefully in YouTube, you guys will love that too. Make sure that you subscribe too, because later I'm gonna pop a button here to subscribe, or subscribe below and turn on the little bell, because later I'm going to be talking about how to grow your Instagram and how to really grow your stories in a way that are speaking to your business. More to come on that. But in growing your other friends and making sure that you're growing into a space of expansion, you really want to look at what types of friends you want to have. Now, I'm talking about, you don't want the types of friends that are kind of sitting on their couch playing video games because that's what's serving them. I don't know why, but probably don't want those types of friends. Unless you're a videographer, video game reviewer person, which all the more power to you because you're making that into money. So like hustle your damn self. But on the other side of it, you probably just want people that are a lot like you, that are gonna bring business ideas to you. And this is where I would say, reach out to a couple financial advisors. You'd be surprised. We're really connected people. We tend to know a lot of people and a lot of things going on in the area. It's our job to be social and to be in places where we are seen by higher net worth people that are entrepreneurs as well. And a lot of times we have groups already that are either women-based or whatever. So reach out to a couple of us. We're not scary, I promise. And then finally, what I would say is I challenge you to have gratitude around the friends that you already have. The friends that have been through the entrepreneur period with you where you'd started it out and maybe they were a little judgy, maybe they were a little like, oh, pump the brakes, don't be so crazy about it. But maybe they had some validity in that statement. Maybe they stuck by you and they were really able to support. Or maybe it's just the person that every once in a while shoots you a text message and says, you know what, I really believe in you and I'm in your corner and I love what you're doing. Or maybe they like every post that you have. Show some gratitude. Have a little appreciation for the people that have stuck through and through. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that say once they made it, they found out who their true friends were. I say when you're on your journey, you find out who your true friends are. Because as you're going through your journey, it is not the sexiest journey. The friends that do stick by you are so enriching. Send them a little gift this holiday season. Whether it's a Starbucks card or it's a coffee card or a little spa set, whatever. Some of my favorites actually are at Etsy and I'm addicted to those. Think about how you can really bring value to them this season instead of always taking and being able to see how much they've given your life. Anyway, I hope that you guys had value out of this video. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm really excited about some of my upcoming videos. So make sure you like, subscribe, and you do all the things. Hit me up over on Instagram and DM me on a couple of the things that you would like to see. A lot of my friends on Instagram shared with me how most of their friends are actually from Instagram. The friends that serve them the best in their entrepreneurial path has actually come from Insta. Awesome. So hit me up on Insta, like, subscribe, do all of the things. Love to you all. I really appreciate it. And until next time.